Alright guys, today we're going to talk about replacing the stock MAF. For you purists out there whose stock MAF has crapped out, contact Kerbins and they'll get you another one. It's calibrated correctly. If you want to go to one of the part stores and take a chance on getting one, that's up to you. I've heard guys going back 5 or 6 times before they get one that's calibrated correctly. Again, for the purist, please contact Kerbins and they will get you one that is calibrated correctly. Okay. Onwards and upwards. Okay, this is again a video for the guys that want to swap out the stock MAF for an aftermarket. Now, you have your choice between the LT1, the 3-inch, the LS1, the 3.5-inch, and the Z06, which I believe is 3 3/4 inches, what I've got on this car. Now, what you will need to go with that is a translator from Bob Bailey Engineering. Now, these translators are incredibly durable. I've had it on the car from day one. In all honesty, with being on the boards for as long as I haven't heard of one crapping out yet. Not one. This is an incredibly durable unit. It's called a translator. It comes from Bob Bailey Engineering. Without Bob, we'd be in a stone age with these cars. He makes some wonderful products with us. It's available from any of the major turbo Buick vendors. Again, it's called a translator. Call your favorite Buick vendor, give them a call, and tell me you want a regular translator. You'll require it for one of the 3 MAFs that you're going to replace it with. Now, please be advised, as far as I know, if you're going to use a Z06 MAF, it requires a 3 to 5 pin special connector. Again, it's available from the major Buick vendors. Call up your favorite one and grab one. I think it was about 12 bucks. Again, don't go screaming off into the night. This is all plug and play. There's no wiring to do, nothing. Just plug it in, go, and away you go. All right. When you're replacing this, you're probably going to go with a solid MAF pipe. Now, it'll depend on what inlet you have on your turbo. On mine, it's a 4-inch inlet, so this is a 4-inch pipe. And I've got a cold air kit mounted on this thing. It pulls cold air in from outside of the car. I picked this up from one of the locals who bought a TR and he wanted to go back to the stock look, and he gave me a wicked deal on this setup. Basically what you got to do is, if you've got a 3-inch inlet, again, call up one of the turbo Buick vendors. Tell me you want a solid 3-inch pipe if you have a 3-inch inlet on your turbo. If you have a 4-inch, you'll need a 4-inch inlet. You'll need the couplers. One goes on the turbo. A couple of them go over here onto the MAF. Normally what the guys do is, and you'll notice the charcoal canister is gone. It isn't. It's been relocated. We'll get around to that in a couple of minutes. What the guys do is, right here, they'll put a cone K&N filter on and just have it sit on top the charcoal canister. Again, I picked this cold air kit up from one of the locals. I got it for a price of a cup of coffee. Basically what it does is it exits out underneath the fender, and the cone filter is underneath the fender. It drags cold air from outside of the car, and that's how it works. Now, this is a 4-inch MAF pipe. It's aluminum. It's an absolutely gorgeous piece. It appears as if it came from RJC Racing. Jason makes some wicked products for our cars. A lot of research and development goes into everything he has. Again, I believe this looks like one of his pieces. The 90-degree elbow, I should have asked where he got it from. I have no clue. I'll contact the gentleman and ask where he got it from. He may have got it from Jason as well at RJC Racing. I'm not sure. But anyway, now, the translator, there's a lot more technology that goes into it than the way I'm going to explain it to you. The basic way I understand it is the LT1, the LS1, and the Z06 MAF are all for 8-cylinder engines. The translator, it breaks down the signal and breaks it down to a 6-cylinder signal for our ECMs, which is our onboard computers, electronic control modules. And that's basically the way it works. Again, there's a lot more technology that goes into it, but that's the basic thing. It takes the 8-cylinder signal off the MAF, translates it down to a 6-cylinder signal, and then fires it off to our ECM. Like I said, a lot more goes into it than that, but that's the basic premise of how it works. This translator works with Bob Bailey engineering chips. It also works with Eric's at Turbo Tweak. There's some dip switches inside it, and depending on what chip you use, I believe there's 4 dip switches inside it. It's very straightforward, whether you're running Bob's chip or Eric's chip. Just set the switches as they tell you to set them up. There's also a base knob switch in it, and that is for depending on what MAF you're running. It just turn it to the number. Again, they'll tell you which one to turn the number to. It's that simple. Twist the key and away you go, guys. It's simple. Again, don't go screaming off into the night. There's no cutting wires. There's nothing. This is all absolutely and utterly plug and play. You can't screw it up. It's just a way to fly if you're going to swap out from the stock MAF to an aftermarket. All right, guys, that's about it. And once again, thanks so much for watching. Take care.